Section 8.5, Factoring Polynomials Completely. Example 1, factor 12x cubed minus 75x. First, factor out the greatest common factor. 12 and 75 are both divisible by 3. X cubed and x, we can factor out an x. So we're going to factor out a 3x. And inside our parentheses, we have 4x squared minus 25. Next, we're going to factor the 4x squared minus 25 into two binomials. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 times 5 is 25. There's a subtraction sign there, so think about your two binomials. The final factored answer is 3x times 2x plus 5 times 2x minus 5. Example 2, factor a squared b minus 7a squared minus b plus 7. There are 4 terms, so try to factor by grouping. A squared times b minus 7 minus 1 times b minus 7. Now factoring into two binomials, a squared minus 1 times b minus 7. And we need to continue factoring because a squared minus 1 factors into a plus 1 and a minus 1. A plus 1 times a minus 1 times b minus 7 is the factored solution. Example 3, factor 4x cubed plus 28x squared minus 120x. First, factor out the greatest common factor. Greatest common factor of those 3 terms is a 4x. So it's 4x times x squared plus 7x minus 30. Now we want to factor that trinomial into two binomials. So what multiplies to negative 30 and adds to 7? Positive 10 and negative 3. So factoring into the two binomials, we have 4x times x plus 10 times x minus 3. Example 4, factor 9x squared minus 81. Factor out the greatest common factor first, which is 9. So 9 times x squared minus 9. X squared minus 9 is one of our special factoring. It factors into x plus 3 and x minus 3. Final factored answer is 9 times x plus 3 times x minus 3. Example 5, factor a squared b minus 3a squared minus 16b plus 48. 4 terms, so try factoring by grouping. Out of the first 2 terms, we can factor out an a squared. So a squared times b minus 3 minus 16 times b minus 3. Rewriting as binomials, a squared minus 16 times b minus 3. A squared minus 16, we can factor again to a plus 4 times a minus 4 times b minus 3. Example 6, factor 9x squared y minus 48xy plus 48y. First, factor out the greatest common factor, which is 3y. It's 3x squared minus 16x plus 16. Our leading coefficient of our x squared is not a 1. So remember, what multiplies to 48, 3 times 16, and adds to negative 16. Multiplies to 48 and adds to negative 16 is negative 12x and negative 4x. Now we have 4 terms, so factor by grouping. Keep that 3y out in front, don't lose it. 3y times 3x times x minus 4 times x minus 4. Finish factoring, it's 3y times x minus 4 times 3x minus 4. That's section 8.5, factoring polynomials completely.